Hey, I'm Krista Wax. You're listening to MSP Sound on KFAI, and I'm so excited. I have Graveyard Club with me. Hey.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Ooh. How are y'all doing?
Doing good.
Awesome.
Having a good morning.
Wonderful. Well, let's all take a second and introduce yourselves. Tell us what you do in the band.
Sure. I'm Amanda. I play bass and sing.
I'm Mike. I play guitar.
I'm Matthew. I play synthesizer and sing.
Nice. Very well rounded. Well, I'm excited to have you here. This is the MSP Sound local music kind of spooktacular show. And what better way than, of course, to have your band on, because you kind of have like some spooky vibes. I won't full on say Halloween, but it's spooky enough that you're definitely like on the honorable mentions and on the playlist, of course, tonight. How did that kind of come to be? I mean, was that sort of, you've had a few songs out there definitely call out to like darkness, the Ouija, witchcraft, and more, but was that kind of your intention to be spooky?
Yeah, I think that's maybe something that's worn off a little bit over the years, but the initial idea was to like embrace that kind of Halloween vibe. I feel like I've always loved Halloween and kind of the whole aesthetic around it. And we, on our very first EP, we actually used quite a bit of like sound samples from old Halloween vinyl records, if you remember those, where like it'd be like a tour through a haunted house or like scary stories on a vinyl. So we used a lot of clips, and we've used them in multiple records since then, but it was kind of like, yeah, initially meant to be kind of a nod to sci-fi and like horror and vintage like creepiness. So yeah, I think it's just a love of that whole aesthetic is what brought us to that.
Yeah, I think it.
Oh, go ahead, Mike.
Well, I was gonna add it. Like, it fit in well with like the origin of us playing together too, because Matt and I were playing in more of a guitar band, and had recently moved into the same house, which was an old kind of Victorian house on Summit in St. Paul, where fall is beautiful there. We were looking to just do something a little different, I think, and a little more specific sort of aesthetic. And we both shared an interest in the author Ray Bradbury, who sort of encapsulates everything we just mentioned as far as this like kind of vintagey, spooky stories, tales of foreboding and all that. And it was fun to try to like sort of marry those things with the music. And I think from there, it's like taken on different life too, where it's not just that sound. It started probably the spookiest it ever was and the most Halloween friendly it ever was. And then from there, it got more synthy or more dancey or more modern at different times. But that was kind of the origin of it.
Yeah, I think to Mike's point too, we got to a point where we sort of became the Halloween band a little bit, which we didn't mind, but I think over time we're like, oh, let's like try to get away from being pigeonholed into that all the time, but we still love to embrace it.
Yeah, we're thinking about branching out into Easter next.
Ooh. That is definitely an untapped market there.
It's also funny that we talk about like, yeah, let's try to like branch away from Halloween a little bit, because we also have an unreleased song on a new record that's literally called Halloween.
You kind of can't escape it, you might say.
Yeah.
No. And I like it. I think that's great. That's awesome. Like, yeah, I don't think of you as a Halloween band, but I love that they're more Halloween type themed songs. But that's really fun. I just thinking about putting together playlists for this show, and I mean, of course, you're on it, but like I didn't realize how many bands do and now put out Halloween songs. Like this is really becoming a thing, and I don't know other markets. I'm only focused here. But it's so fun to see so many local bands really embrace Halloween. Like, we have a Halloween track. What? This is a thing now? I love it. I don't know if y'all started that trend or what.
We'll take it.
Yeah.
It was us.
But it does sound like you are branching out to another holiday, because you have a show coming up Thanksgiving Eve. So you're doing another holiday.
Yeah, we're gonna have to really rethink all of our themes and our music and lyrics for that one.
Spooky
Yeah,
Thanksgiving.
that'll be fun. Our manager lined that up for us, so we're excited to play that with some friends.
Yeah, Turf Club on Thanksgiving Eve. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, should be a good time. We're excited. It's been fun to play shows again because we, like everybody else, had that long hiatus during the thick of the pandemic. So we played our first show back a month or so ago. Have a few other things lined up this fall, and that Turf Club show is gonna be awesome. We're excited.
Yeah.
That's awesome to be part of a Thanksgiving Eve event. That's such an event that has evolved over time and it's really fun just because we all have the holiday.
Yeah.
Let's go out and celebrate and have fun. What
Yeah.
can people expect at your show? A spooky Thanksgiving song? What's
That's I don't think we know the answer to that yet.
Yeah, we're still putting the set list together, but there should be some new stuff, some unreleased material.
Yeah. During the pandemic, we were writing an album and recording an album, which is kind of finishing touches and still a ways out till it's probably released. But it's been fun to think about sprinkling in those new unreleased songs into our set list to kind of road test them and let people hear them for the first time. So you can expect some of that if you go to that Turf show for sure.
Definitely.
Ooh, that's, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I'm like, where am I going to go Thanksgiving? Probably to the Turf Club now. How was it? I mean, you're talking about working on things during COVID. I mean, I know it's a really difficult time for musicians as everything just kind of came to a halt. So you were able to put together some new music and kind of work together, of course, like socially, just I'm sure you're all very responsible during that. But I don't really know my question. How difficult was it during that time? It sounds like you put some new music together. Oops. And yeah.
Can you hear me? I know it's kind of glitchy, but I can hear you. I think my video cut out.
Yeah.
Oh, you can hear me though? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
It was difficult. I think that one of the most fun parts is when we get into a studio all together and have a chance to kind of chip away at the songs. And I think ideas and creativity as a group is a lot easier in person. So the process for this record was different from all the others where we, obviously we're more in a room all together. This one was more just kind of, we each kind of made ramshackle recording setups where we live. And we kind of owe a lot of this one to our producer engineer friend, Andy Thompson, who's great. And he kind of was put the jigsaw together from our pieces and helped out a lot. So it still sounds like a Graveyard Club record. We're really excited about it and some great tunes. But yeah, the whole making process wasn't as fun as some of the other records where we just hang out a bunch and bounce ideas off each other more.
Yeah, it was definitely different. There were some little silver linings though. I felt just when you're doing your own vocal takes, for example, you can do as many as you want, which is kind of maybe a little bit of a double-edged sword, trying to get that perfect one when you're your own engineer. But it was kind of fun. I feel like it, sometimes you're limited with time or budget or whatever in the studio. And this was just kind of complete control over certain aspects of it. So there's definitely a few trade-offs, I would say.
Yeah, it's hard. Some of the home studio things, as you've probably already heard on this Zoom call with two cats losing it, and we have a corgi. So it'd be hard to get total silence. There'd be barking that we'd have to cut out and stuff. So, or at least for my setup. So some unique challenges. But yeah, I agree, Amanda. It was kind of fun to, not have eyes on you when takes and be oh, I can really try my heart out here and not feel like I'm taking everyone's time in the studio. People are waiting.
Yep, definitely.
You could change.
I honestly think it's cool because all that being said, I think it's our best record yet. And I know everybody always says that about their newest thing. So it's not a matter of the listener is going to hear some distinction oh, that was their COVID record. You can tell it's all lo-fi or something like that. But I think it's the tediousness of it and the amount of time. It always takes a long time. It always gets drawn out more than you think it's going to. And this is even more so because of the nature of all that. Yeah.
Sure. Well, I'm glad you're able to keep going. Like, I know, I mean, every band has gone through COVID differently, and there's no, obviously no right or wrong way because none of us have done this before.
Yeah.
So that's very exciting that there's new music on the way. And I don't know, will it be instead of a Halloween band, it'll be a pet band if there's animals?
Yeah, I mean, Archie does have a couple like instrumental breaks where he'll play like pots and pans or he'll bark at the mailman. So I really give him a lot of space to explore.
Yeah. Check the liner notes for all the animal contributions.
Oh, that'll be exciting. Yeah, next time you can have like a pet parade and have everyone's pets show up to a show. I don't know.
Yeah, we do all have animals in the band, so they're definitely
True.
part of the big band family.
Mhm.
Well, wonderful. Well, thanks so much for stopping by. And oh my gosh, Turf Club show Wednesday, November 24th, right? At Turf Club.
Sounds right.
Yeah.
Day before Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving
Yeah.
Eve. Hit
Tickets
it
still
up.
available.
Tickets still
Yeah.
available.
Hope to see you guys there.
Yes.